Hello, Stuart.
Hello, Floris.
Hey, Stuart, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to read your mind.
Okay.
You're drinking
a
Hoegaarden.
I am drinking Hoegaarden. It's not that, I mean, I did say on the last recording that it was my favourite beer, so you could probably have guessed that I would be drinking Hoegaarden the next time we recorded. So, I mean, it's not that much of a feat of psychic power.
Especially since the last time recorded this about 5 minutes ago.
Well, now you've pulled back the curtain. For the people, so.
Intentionally so.
And now I'm going to prove my... Not only am I not psychic, I have a terrible memory, because I can't remember what you said you were drinking. A white wine, but it was a foreign... It was a foreign name, and I can't remember foreign names, which is why I've always called you Dutch.
Wait, hang on. So, don't all wines have foreign names?
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot of English wines out there, are there?
Which is why hey, all those English vineyards.
Well, it's actually a plot point.
The South Sussex Downs.
It's actually a plot point in one of the episodes of Chef, starring
Lenny Henry.
Yeah, that one, Lenny Henry. Where
I did not think we were going to start off this episode of TLDR discussing Chef.
I like Chef.
I actually quite like Chef, but
Chef is a brilliant show.
This is hands down the obscurest programme we've discussed.
Lenny Henry is an English comedian of African heritage.
Lenny Henry is probably best known for Sir Lenny Henry.
I do beg your pardon, Sir Lenny Henry.
He invented comic relief, so.
Oh yeah, he did. He does a lot of comic relief. Yeah,
that's his real claim to fame is setting that up.
But he's a quite good comedian. He's quite entertaining.
He's alright. Yeah, he's completely inoffensive.
But in this show, Chef, he's just fly off in a fit of rage. Constantly on edge.
He's the Black Gordon Ramsay.
Oh my God, he's the Black Gordon Ramsay before Gordon Ramsay was a thing.
About 15 years before Gordon Ramsay was a thing.
That's genius. I never thought of that before.
Yeah, I guess it's just he is just stereotypical angry chef, as is Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. I must say, the chefs I've worked with have always been slightly more mellow. They did get angry at some people, but never at me. So perceive them.
Yeah, but you weren't kitchen staff, were you?
I wasn't kitchen staff, and I wasn't restaurant staff.
I have had chefs be angry at me. When the head chef at the place that I worked was also the owner, so I guess that he got more stressed out than anybody else because,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
It's his ass, you know what I mean? But also, he's just kind of a prick. I mean, he did have a heart attack at some point. In his his only a minor one, but still pretty bad. But in his 40s, and it's he's just very highly strung,
That's still too early to have a heart attack.
Oh yeah, but it's just because of the stress. I'm
like the chefs I work with, I did have to deal with their food every now and then because I was in charge of things like room services and banquets and things like that. So but I never fucked up that badly. So I was usually in the clear, and I actually got to take the piss out of them every now and then, and that was quite fun. Because they did, I think the Times does this big puzzle on Christmas Day.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
New Year's.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the festive period anyway.
It's the festive period. So they were doing that, right? So they're and I've got a reputation of being quite clever. I don't know fucking why. But they asked me a couple of questions, and I gave them answers, and they're like, oh, we'll try that. And usually it's if I wasn't right, I was close. But at one point, they go to me, they're like, oh, well, what's this then? An aqueduct. What does an aqueduct do? I'm like, well, aqueducts are for transporting water from one end of a location to another. It's basically like a waterway for back in the Roman days so they could have fresh water coming in. And he looks at me with the most incredulous look on his face. And he's like, the fuck you talking about? Fucking waterways? What the fuck's wrong with rivers? What kind of a fucking idiot are you? He started just, going off. I'm like, no, really? Honestly? He didn't believe me. So the thing is, I was on night shift that night, so I was between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. I was all by myself. And I got my laptop, which was somewhere in the building, and I went on the hotel Wi-Fi, and luckily Wikipedia already existed by then, so I went like, aqueduct, and I printed off the entire Wikipedia page, and I blasted it across the entire office of the kitchen.
I mean, that's a normal thing that a normal person would do.
Definitely, everybody would do that. So the next time he sees me, he's like, you should be happy that you were right, because if you were wrong and you'd done something like that... Oh, bless you. Steve, should you ever hear this, I still love you, Steve. You're brilliant. But I don't know how we got here. We got here from Lenny Henry. Lenny Henry is quite amusing, but we weren't talking about Lenny Henry. I was going to propose to you a subject.
You're going to propose to me?
Yeah, propose a subject. So, yeah. We all know Where's Waldo, right?
Oh, Wally.
Wally, as they call him in the UK, where the writer is originally from. Right, so I've been watching a lot of Only Fools and Horses recently.
I thought it was French.
No, it's British.
Oh, okay.
So to go from one obscure British TV show shift to the other one, Only Fools and Horses, which I take most of our public don't know.
Probably.
Only Fools and Horses, it takes place in London, and I've noticed that a lot of the time, what's his name? Jason Frost? No, that's
David Jason.
David Jason.
Sir David Jason.
He plays a character called Frost.
Yeah.
Sir David Jason, who has two first names for some reason, insults people a lot by calling them Wallies.
He calls them Wallies, yes.
So my proposal is this: the creator of Where's Wally thinks that Wally is a fucking idiot for getting lost all the time, despite the fact he wears a big stripy shirt and a hat and glasses and stands out in the crowd.
He somehow finds the only places on Earth where everybody is wearing fucking red and white stripy.
Exactly. And then so many man hours have been put into finding this guy. Can you fucking imagine?
Ironically, Inspector Frost could probably find him pretty quickly.
He's probably more preoccupied with finding paedophiles and things like that.
I mean, if he was a missing person, maybe.
I wonder if they've ever done that on a TV show, like, I got him, and then just bring in a bloke with a red stripy sweater.
I bet they have.
Sounds like something that would happen in Police Squad.
Or Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I can imagine that happening.
That's a show I don't watch enough.
Yeah, same here, actually.
I really don't like handheld camera shows.
Really?
Because it's something about it that bothers me.
American Office?
I've never watched more than a couple of episodes.
Parks and Rec?
That's my biggest crime, apparently. Apparently Parks and Rec is super fucking hilarious.
Parks and Rec is super fucking hilarious, but I mean, it is quite derivative of The Office.
Well, but the one is
it's fantastic
better than the other. But here's the point. I get the thing with The Office. It's like, it's meant to be a documentary.
Yeah, well, so is Parks and Rec.
Really?
Yeah, it's shot as a mockumentary. Like they do little speeches to camera the same as they do in The Office, yeah. But it's fucking good, though. Like, don't let that put you off. It is... You should definitely check that out. And the cast is stellar. I mean, Aziz Ansari's problems being what they are, but...
It's got Chris Pratt in it, so she's alright.
Chris Pratt, and he was all fat in it as well.
Yeah, before he became Star-Lord.
Yeah, before he became an absolute stud.
I should get a role in some kind of a Marvel Avengers movie, and I'll just get all fucking buff. Be like, yeah!
I'm getting a phone call.
It's not me.
No, I'm going to answer it.
No. Fabulon a bőre őre, ezt használja nyakra, főre.
Were we?
Where were we? I'm still here.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Jeff, where's Wally?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. How good is Event Horizon?
We're talking about Chris Pratt being all studly.
Oh, God, yeah, and previously being fat.
Yeah, because I really don't... it's something about me. It's probably, one of my many quirks I've got, that I really get annoyed with the handheld camera bit. And especially with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's no reason for it, why they have it. So I get annoyed by it.
I can see why. I can see that being a legit...
Which is very bad, because I fucking love the cast. It's just so good.
It's such a good show as well. It's really well written. Does Andy Samberg write that?
Oh, the main guy. Yeah. He's definitely one of...
yeah, I thought so.
One of the writers or the producers.
The
Lonely Island Man. That's how I know it.
I think that's how most people know. And he's in Hot Rod, which is a surprisingly good film. If you haven't seen that. Yeah, Hot Rod. He's in it. I think Bill Hader might be in it, and maybe Danny McBride.
I only know Danny McBride.
I think fucking Ian McShane or somebody plays his dad as well, which is really...
I know Ian McShane better than I know Danny McBride.
Yeah. Although, isn't Danny McBride about to be in Crocodile Dundee, the sequel, where he plays his son but he's grown up?
I think that's been it was a hoax perpetrated by the Australian Tourist Bureau.
Damn it!
They disguised the new trailer for a new Crocodile Dundee as oh ha 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 ha, nope, actually come see Australia, and they aired it during the Super Bowl.
Gutted. I really wanted to see that movie when I heard it was a thing.
Quite clever, because they released a fake trailer before the Super Bowl, and then the full trailer's gonna be then, and then it's nope, come to Australia, mate. Mind you, I think that if they do a Crocodile Dundee sequel, they should get an actual Australian, and not Danny fucking McBride.
No, although Danny McBride is funny. I mean,
maybe the concept could have been I don't know the plot of Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2, but maybe he could have had a kid with the girl in that film, and then the kid would have been an American.
In 2, I'm pretty certain they moved to America, and he's got a kid in 2. They meet Mike Tyson. I remember that bit. Because they meet Mike Tyson and he's doing yoga in the park.
I literally don't know anything about that film.
Fucking the only bit I remember is that they meet Mike Tyson doing yoga, and when they're walking away, Crocodile Dundee is going to his son that Mike, what a sweetheart, what a great guy. This was not long after he got out of prison. It was the height. It was at the height of Mike Tyson's because nowadays he always does shit like that. He's reinvented himself as this comedy figure. But in those days, it was very much Mike Tyson, convicted rapist.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of that's weird seeing Mike Tyson being...
Right, so the proposed Crocodile Dundee sequel could have been Danny McBride being a fish out of water in Australia. That could have worked if they had Chris Hemsworth in it, like they implied he would have been.
I mean...
As the proper Australian.
I think he would have to be the foil, the macho foil. He is the most handsome Australian actor out there currently. So that Hugh Jackman could do it.
If Hugh Jackman could do it, yeah. Either him or I could see that. Hugh Jackman could be the bad guy. Then Chris Hemsworth and Hugh Jackman would be playing opposite each other. Danny McBride would be the goofball guy who actually ends up manning up by the end and saving the day. He has to somehow
save the day. Because Chris Hemsworth is somehow waylaid.
Yeah, because he gets hit by a tranquilizer dart or something.
Yeah, something bullshit like that. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Hollywood, hire us.
I mean, this has got legs. This has seriously got legs. This reminds me, actually, my buddy was telling me of this game that he plays, where he gives his mate the name of a film, the premise for a film, and then he has to go away and cast it and pitch it how he would do it. And he did it to me, and he was do a Predator sequel, and I was this is the best worst idea I've ever had, because it sounds terrible, but also I would want to see it, which is, right, Donald Glover, okay?
I'm on board.
Right, you take Donald Glover, and he is a cop, and he's the son of Danny Glover's character from Predator 2.
Yeah.
And the son of that Predator comes to Earth, and they have to fight. That's it. That's my pitch for a Predator sequel.
So it's like an honor killing, but then with Predators.
Yeah, he's like, your daddy killed my daddy, and now I'm going to come and kill you. So
I've never actually seen Predator 2, so I didn't know that Danny Glover killed.
Yeah, Danny Glover's the main guy.
That he killed to the Predator.
Spoilers, Danny Glover wins.
Oh, really? Somebody else in that film as well. Somebody famous. Coincidentally.
Who?
In Predator 2? I don't know.
Who?
I told you, I've never seen that film.
I can only think of Danny Glover.
Movie magic! Right. We're going to IMDb that shit.
It's alright. It gets kind of a bad rap.
Yeah, that's it.
Predator 2. It's okay. It's not as good as the first one, but it's alright.
Obviously not. Oh, fuck me. Gary Busey.
Oh, fuck yes. Of course he is.
Good old wonky teeth.
Right, so
I actually had an idea for a Predator movie once.
Okay.
I haven't cast it, but I always envisioned, like, if they bring back the Predator, you have to change things up a bit. So we already had Predator in the jungle, Predator in the city, and then Predator on an alien planet with several predators.
Yep.
So I had the idea. I have to stop saying I propose. That seems to be like...
and we've had Predators on ice.
No, we haven't had Predators on ice yet, but that could be the sequel to
Alien versus Predators, like in the Arctic or somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the first one. Oh, right. So, yeah, there's no original ideas left. But I had the idea of a secret government facility where they have captured a Predator and they basically wired him to a slave collar. And he gets used as a military equipment.
Oh my god!
So
right. They do with the Predator what they've been trying to do with the Xenomorph since film number 1.
Well, yes, but I hadn't thought of that in that regard. So it's not as if I had that and then went like to this. I didn't.
No, I'm just saying though, like that's they're always trying to weaponize the alien.
That's the curse of Simpsons did it, I suppose.
I guess.
So the point of view of this film would be of a bunch of criminals, and then of course the main star would be somebody like out of his depth, and he's only a runner, and he's gotten into these big boys whose crimes are way bigger than his because he's only like a street level thug. You'd have to have
fucking somebody like John Leguizamo, say John Leguizamo, star of The Pest.
Oh, fuck you.
So we take the Predator and we put him on an island with John Leguizamo.
Somebody similar. But then, of course, it's like the Predator would be killing all the criminals, but the bad guys would obviously be this military police force employing the Predator. And then towards the end, the main guy just lucks out and saves the Predator because it was like half dead because of an explosion. Fuck do I know? I'm not a scriptwriter. And then
clearly,
and then the Predator takes his vengeance on the military unit, and the kid,
him and the goofy guy,
and the goofy guy gets out like by the skin of his teeth, just barely out of an exploding compound, and they're like, oh well, that was the fucking Predator, and I don't know what to call it, like Predator Force, something like that.
Okay, how about this? All right, you take the Predator, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put it on the event horizon. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. That's the bit.
The shared Predators Event Horizon movie universe. Move over,
That's
Avengers.
That's my. That is the crossover event that everyone's waiting to see. I know it. I know it. You know it.
Mind you, there's
you
still
take 100 Predators, you drop them on an island, unarmed. Yeah, play Unknown Battlegrounds,
that's
but with Predators.
Unknown Battlegrounds.
Predators Unknown Battlegrounds, alright?
Mind you, we're still getting the Predator sequel this year by Shane Black.
Yeah. Yeah, skeptical. That's it. I haven't seen Predatorz, but I've heard it's really bad. But I mean, I can't.
I quite like Predatorz.
It's got Adrian Brody and Danny Trejo in, which is enough to make me want to see it a little bit. So
let me put it like this: Predatorz does something different, despite the fact they're all in a jungle again.
I imagined it would be serviceable, like just be fine.
There's people that don't like it because it messes with what they think the Predator is, because it creates more kinds of Predator without actually deviating into like weird gimmicks.
Right.
But it has some fucking cool moments. It's definitely not as good as the original. But it's
like, all I want it to be really is like The Condemned, but with a Predator. Like that's all I want.
That's literally what it is. And it's like
right, fine, I'm on board.
It's the same idea as Event Horizon. You get these characters, and they don't really get, characters, but they get traits. And they die off one by one. And some of them get
one-dimensional characters, not even 2D characters, one-dimensional characters.
And Lawrence Fishburne is in it.
Is he really?
He really is.
It is fucking, see, Event Horizon, it's the shared Event Horizon Predator universe, see it?
Except he's gone all loopy. So it might just be the Event Horizon sequel.
He's got fucking, the Event Horizon's just fucking with him now, the same way it did with Dr. Weir, and then the cycle just repeats. Like, presumably at the end of the film, Adrian Brody is all like messed up, and then he goes on.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, because it actually ends quite open. Because they were hoping.
Cool. I will definitely see it.
They were hoping for a sequel.
Predatorz.
Predatorz.
Would it follow the naming trope of aliens? It'd be like Predatorz.
Predator 3.
Predator 4. No, it'd be Predator 4 now because they've already had Predator 2. So.
Yeah, but
Predator 2. Yeah. Predatorz, Predator 4.
Yeah, but Alien went from Alien to Aliens to Alien 3. So okay.
Yeah, I know, but you couldn't call this one Predator 3 because this would be the fourth one.
Fair enough.
Well, you said it as a prequel to Predatorz, and it's set on the Event Horizon.
That would be quite a mindfuck if the Predators came from the Event Horizon.
Oh my god, they're just a figment of fucking Lawrence Fishburne's
No, that they come out of the hell space.
They come from hell. Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Where we're going, you don't need eyes to see.
Except Predators have eyes, don't they?
Yeah, well...
That doesn't work. Damn it.
Fuck. Turn around. Predator's great. Fucking... You know what movie is coming out pretty soon?
Yes? No?
Venom. That's gonna be
When
bad.
is that coming out?
It must be soon, though, right? Like, they're putting trailers out for
Yeah,
it,
but sometimes the trailer is like a year in advance.
It's not going to be. Is it going to be? It's going to be this year, isn't it? Because they're doing quite a lot of promo work.
It is supposed to be this year, and I'll definitely. I could put out.
Have you seen the teaser for it? What do you think?
I put my extensive thoughts on my channel, so somewhere people can see that. But I could tell you right here, the brief synopsis is.
Just put a little link in the video.
I will do. So people who listen to this can listen to that. But I'm not hopeful. I'm not very hopeful at all.
I didn't realise till somebody on the Giant Bombcast pointed out. I didn't realise it's a teaser trailer for a Venom film that shows neither Venom nor Spider-Man. So,
the typical.
It's not a great sign.
The typical internet people that dissect every frame, right? You know those kind. They had a shot where they show there's black tendrils coming from behind his neck, but that's about it. That's everything. I think that's going to hurt this film quite a lot because they want to have their extended Spider-Man universe, because when the Amazing Spider-Man came out in 2012, Avengers had come out, and then Avengers made all the money in the world, and then they were like, "Oh, we can have an extended universe because we have Spider-Man."
And Spider-Man has the best rogues gallery in comics.
Either him or Batman.
I mean, it's Spider-Man. But Batman is second.
I have to say, Batman's usually more psychological, where Spider-Man's...
No, he does, definitely. It's just,
sometimes...
Batman's got some Batman has some villains that I don't care about at all, whereas like even Spider-Man's like lowest level villains I think are cool. Like even like
Yeah, but
Tombstone, is cool as fuck.
my
Like,
problem with some of Spider-Man's villains is that many of them are just a little bit of a powered goon. It's like, what's the big difference between the Scorpion
shitloads of them are.
and...
Like the Scorpion,
Yeah.
and the Rhino.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, there isn't one. They're just fucking idiot thugs.
Yeah, but Batman, on the other hand, all has like, oh no, I had this trauma, and that's why I am...
No, I think what you're doing here is you're looking at like good characterization, and you're letting that cloud your view of what are some very cool gimmicks.
Yeah, because I no, you got me, because a lot of the time, a lot of Batman characters get reduced to one-dimensional notes, because they'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
this is
that's
Two-Face,
bad
and all he does is flip a coin and have crimes with
Yeah, but
number two.
that's
Or he's the Mad
that's just
Hatter,
bad
and all he
writing, though,
does
it's
is perv on little girls called Alice.
yeah, but that's just bad writing. Like Batman's villains at their worst are that. But I mean, that's why he has got such a good rogues gallery. Is that on the surface, a character based on the Mad Hatter is terrible, but some of the best characterizations of that character are really creepy and fucking awesome. Like
In Secret Six, like Gail Simone.
yeah, I mean,
Hooray, Gail Simone! Yay!
yeah, she's pretty good in general.
Gail Simone made me feel bad for a parademon. And you know what a parademon is? Yeah, don't you?
I don't.
You don't?
No. I don't.
One of Darkseid's mooks, like his generic foot soldiers,
Yes.
they're called parademons, and they're like this
Parademons, okay.
half-humanoid bug-like creatures.
Right.
And in a mini called Villains United, which was taking place before 52, I'm going to throw in all kinds of comic book jargon at you.
I'm familiar with the 52 because it was cool as hell.
Okay,
It
cool.
was the only good characterization of Superman.
So, Villains United was about all the villains in the world uniting against the heroes, except for a couple, which were under the leadership of Lex Luthor. And these were, eventually, they would become the Sinister Six.
They led into
The
yeah.
Secret Six. I keep using those interchangeably. And Parademon is just a Parademon who was left behind during a invasion by Darkseid. And
So he's basically just like the Marvel equivalent would be just a Skrull.
yeah, he would just be a Skrull. And he's just, a generic, stupid, ha ha ha, I have to hurt you kind of thug.
Yeah.
And he gets
Proper
into a
goon.
relationship of sorts, like a really deep friendship with, what's his name? A contortionist villain of Batman. I'm not quite sure what his name is.
Contortionist villain of Batman. God, if I know Batman villains, he'll probably have like the worst name imaginable for a contortionist villain.
Okay, so he has a very deep friendship with a character called Ragdoll, who's like a contortionist.
Surprisingly good name for a contortionist villain.
Because he looks like a puppet, but Ragdoll is like this really weirded out psychological killer who's like infantile. He's like, oh, you seem to be leaking red stuff. Let me help you plug you with this knife, because that will help.
Oh, okay.
That kind of guy.
From the fucking like Humpty Dumpty school of Batman.
Yeah,
villains.
exactly. So Parademon dies during the final showdown between all of the villains in DC and the Secret Six, and he's like, "Clown, tell me a joke." And Ragdoll is like, "But I'm not funny. I'm a killer. I'm psychopathic." Wait, hang on. You're bleeding out. You're dying, and you'll never see your true purpose fulfilled. And then Parademon goes, "Ha ha ha ha! I told you you were funny," and he just dies.
Okay.
And it made me feel so sad. I'm like, why the fuck?
Needlessly bleak.
Super bleak. And it's like, wow. It's just a generic demon thing. And I'm like, not crying my eyes out, but I'm like, wow, that's really sad. That's not right. What'd you do that for, Gail Simone? Bitch. She's not a bitch. She's not a bitch. She's a lovely person.
He's never going to hear this. Don't worry about it.
Well, if she did, she would probably unfollow me on Twitter.
I link her to it endlessly on Twitter.
Right, so Gail Simone is brilliant. She's writing Domino next in Marvel Comics, and I've never had any interest in Domino whatsoever, but merely because she's...
Purely through the strength of Gail Simone being attached, you're now fully on board.
Definitely.
You can't wait for this run to start.
And that's probably the only writer aside from maybe Kurt Busiek, that I can say that of.
I have that with Cornell a little bit.
Oh, Paul Cornell, definitely.
I think he's fucking brilliant.
Mind you, Paul Cornell also wrote some of my favourite Doctor Who stories ever, so that's what I probably think of first. But he's done Captain Britain, didn't he?
That was the shit that really got me on board. Yeah, was Captain Britain.
Oh, he probably wrote one of my favourite Doctor Doom appearances ever.
Should have sold way more copies because then he would have got to keep making them. Oh, the only good characterization of Captain Britain.
For the listeners at home, Paul Cornell wrote Dracula on the Moon. Okay.
Yes, he did. It was fucking.
It was
brilliant.
after Dr. McNinja came up with it, but I'm gonna give Paul Cornell a pass. I'm gonna say he doesn't know of the existence of the webcomic Dr. McNinja. He wrote Dracula on the Moon with a base full of vampires, having a showdown with Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom goes like, "I prepared for this meeting. I have imbued splinters of the one true cross inside my armor." I'm like, what the fuck? You got the cross of Jesus Christ in your armor just in case you ever would meet fucking Dracula. Just what the fuck's going on here?
That is it's no worse than Iron Man keeping a strand of Thor's hair from the first ever Avengers meeting just in case.
I think the strand of hair is worse. I think the splinters.
It's more immoral.
Also, it's Iron Man, and he's never been shown to be that devious and nasty. Doctor Doom is like, I could fight anybody on this planet at one point.
The book on devious and nasty.
He is. Oh, Doctor Doom is my favourite villain ever. I don't think we've ever discussed this.
Amazingly, we haven't. I don't think. No, he's right up there. Oh, actually, I think we have. Maybe.
Well, I don't think we've done it here.
Maybe I don't know.
Hey,
yeah,
if you're listening at home and we have discussed this, please correct me. Leave a comment down below.
and probably skip the next 20 minutes or so.
Oh, but I love Doctor Doom. It's not just the fact he's called Doom, not just the fact he's got a medieval armor, which is secretly super high tech. It's not because he talks in third person. It's not because he hates Reed Richards. Because look at the Fantastic Four and how bland they are compared to him. And that's with me saying I love fucking The Thing and Human Torch.
Yeah. We have definitely discussed The Thing previously.
We definitely discussed The Thing. But Reed Richards and Sue, I could leave them. There's nothing about them that makes me go like...
I like Reed because Reed's so deeply flawed, he's barely even a hero. Like, I don't read Reed Richards as that much of a hero. He's basically a cunt. Like, he's a horrible, horrible man.
If he wasn't in a relationship and he didn't have the Fantastic Four or the other three, he would probably be the biggest of dicks.
Is this not why Doom's so good, though? Because he probably, under other circumstances, could have been.
I love heroes that are villains that are like a mirror to the hero. So
not even... I mean, Reed and Doom aren't even really a mirror. They're almost in the wrong role. Like, they probably should be the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like, Doom should be the leader of the Fantastic Four, really. Doom's got way more of a sense... He's got way more of a sense of fair play than Reed Richards has.
Plus the fact his parents died, so Doctor Doom has already got, like, the superhero origin. It's like, oh no, my parents died, and now I have to rescue everybody. The fucking typical,
the classic.
And he liberated his country from a tyranny, and no matter what people say, he's a lot better than the people who were there before him.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Reed is only a superhero because he tricked those closest to him into going on a dangerous, illegal experiment.
The 90s theme tune put it best. It's like, Reed Richards is fantastic.
He has got. I've got to say, Mr. Fantastic is the best name for any superhero.
Mind you, he didn't come up with that himself. Somebody nicknamed him that, and then he had the fucking ego to say like, "Then we'll be the Fantastic Four," and the rest of them were like, "Hang on, what?"
you all bask in my reflected glory. I'm the one with the fucking grant.
Plus, Doctor Doom spends like years like trying to save his mother from hell. It's like, how bad of a villain are you when that's one of your primary motivations?
I know, exactly. Like,
it's to this date, it's my favourite graphic novel ever. is triumphant torment when he's in hell with Doctor Strange, because he partakes in the Sorcerer Supreme contest that the Vishanti have. Have you never read that?
No.
Oh, you should.
That sounds good.
You should read that.
I might check that out.
Right.
Probably should read
I'm not
that.
going to
That sounds
spoil
pretty
too
good.
much, but the Vishanti are the three faces that Doctor Strange pulls most of his power from, and Doctor Doom is part of the contest to remain Sorcerer Supreme, and he gets a boon from Strange because of the conditions of the contest. And his request is to Strange, help me save my mother from hell. And that's basically the entire book. It's about, I think it's about 50 pages. It's not very big, but it's, oh my god, it's clever. It twists things around, and it ends perfectly. You're like, fuck, that was good.
That's what I was meant to be like. Do you know anything about this, like the Marvel Online thing that you can sign up to? It's basically Netflix, but for Marvel.
For the comics, yeah?
Yeah, do you know anything about it? Is it
No.
good? Like, because I've been thinking about getting it, but I don't know if it's fucking worth it or not. So,
I don't know.
because I could read more comics, but I need to look into that. I need to find somebody who like has ever used. I don't know anyone that's ever used it though. Is the thing. I keep seeing adverts for it and like press for it, but I want to know somebody who's actually got user experience. Yeah, I mean, back in the Hero Chat days, I used to download all the PDFs.
Yeah,
So many PDFs.
It's not something that I publicly endorse, but I do use it quite a bit.
Well, I mean, the CIA have got this now, so.
Shit. How do I have this? Oh fuck, we got Google Hangouts on.